Girls LLC.
I'm early, of course. Coral's not here.
Hey guys, sorry.
This bitch.
Sorry I'm here. Sorry I'm late. You know.
Take a hit.
Hold on.
Roll it up. Oh, you have a lighter and everything? Where'd you get that lighter? Zoom in.
And yes, it's a clipper. We're not
It's a Monsoon Market lighter.
Posers.
No.
No bics around here.
Monsoon Market.
Real stickers.
Yeah, dude.
Here you go.
Oh, thank you.
Episode 1.
Episode 1.
Two Valley Girls LLC podcast.
Monsoon World taking over.
Monsoon
Everybody
World is
wants to
taking
know
over.
what it is.
Fuck around and find out.
That's right. That's right. Everybody also wants to know like how Monsoon came to be. Like, what's the name mean? I mean, obviously, if you're from Phoenix, you know what's up.
You know what a monsoon is.
It's the coolest thing. It's the coolest thing happening besides the shop. No.
Yeah, true that.
But like, okay, yeah, the story name.
We were thinking of a name. It was like we were ready to go, but we needed a name. And I feel like I remember us hitting that point where we were like, we cannot dream on this business any further. We need a name.
Yeah.
And we were obsessed with like the market, like something
was
market.
there. Yeah, market was there.
Market.
Because we didn't want to call it anything else, but
Because ultimately the best descriptor of like what it was going to be was a market. It's like a
Right.
catch-all, you know?
you're right. And alliterations are always great. So like,
Right. We wanted it to feel Arizona. We wanted it to feel Phoenix, but we didn't want it to be something that was like already so common or so used or so like obviously desert or like,
yeah,
you know?
over the desert thing, right? So like, so
Yeah.
much of that was driving around Tucson, getting inspired of like what this whole vibe was gonna be, and the sky.
The sky was
Right?
like, I remember like we're looking at the clouds constantly. It was like the middle of summer.
Mhm.
There was just so much inspiration. I was like manic. I was like,
Yeah, inspo was heavy. I was thinking about that, like reflecting on
crazy.
that time, and it just was like everything felt like a sign. And like,
it was from the
yeah.
universe. But there was one night where I was like sleeping and I was like obsessed. I was just like thinking in my sleep every moment, like something
Lucid
market,
dreaming.
something market, Monsoon Market. I literally was like,
sat up like it struck you.
I like grabbed my
lightning.
phone. I was like immediately texted you like asleep. It was
3
literally like
a.m.
3 a.m. and I could not go back to sleep. I was like literally just like slept and like stared at
Were
my
you
phone.
waiting for the dots to come up?
Yes,
for me to-
yes, and I know you wake up early. I'm like, me, she'll be up in 2 hours. She'll be up in 2 hours, maybe earlier. And so you texted me back, and I was just like, I hope she has the same like visceral response that I did when I
Yeah.
felt it. Like I knew it was the name, and honestly, we're like usually on the same page.
Yeah.
But if we weren't on the same page about that name,
would have been crushed.
I would have been crushed. I would have been devastated. I just knew like that was it for us. Like
Yeah.
it was what we had been dreaming on. And you texted me back and you said, "That's it." And I was just like, I have chills right now.
I know, I knew. I saw it and I was like, that is it.
Dude, it was such an amazing feeling because then it was like all gas, no brakes. We're fucking opening
like,
this spot.
We now have a name. We can like get a sign. We can.
Oh yeah, we can like start a bit like, you know, well, Two Valley Girls
have the
LLC
LC.
like was formed before Monsoon Market even.
The DBA.
Yeah.
What are we doing business
What
as?
are we doing business as? And Monsoon Market just felt so perfect. And it's crazy to think about how that name continued to like, it just continues to inspire the market. Like it's not just a name. Like it is inspiration to us. Monsoon season, like the colors of the sky. We couldn't
Yeah.
even pick a brand color. People,
No.
remember we were like, we were talking to like designers, like thinking about getting a branding package.
Yeah.
And they were like, this color and this color, this color and this color. And nothing felt right to like put the sky in a box. Like who does that?
No, the planner and me wanted so badly to have this like package
You were like, yeah.
version. Because like that's what branding was, like going into like that time frame was like having, you know, kind of an identity. But it was so unclear what the identity yet was of it. Like you know, we talk about the market as if it's like a child, right? Like, it was like, okay, well, we like birthed this idea. It's like, she's her own person and like, we got to listen to what she's got to say. It's not just up to us. So they're like, here, wear this, you know, like she's going to tell us what she wants to wear.
100%.
And then, yeah, you're like, let's just keep it more open and loose, you know, like
that's my specialty.
The only thing we needed was a logo so we could put a sign on the outside of the building. Because as you learn, you got to get that shit permitted like 4 weeks before you even put the sign up. You got to ask the government for everything.
Literally.
Can I put a sign on my building?
Yeah. And
so like, give me all your money.
We had made this on Canva. Like, people were always like, who designed the fridges?
Well, the only way, honestly, too, was we got these fridges thrifted, like everything, right?
Yeah.
And one of them was like busted. One of them had an okay, whatever. And we're like, you can do your own, true fridge. You can do your own custom. We're like, okay, cool, maybe we will. And then one was broken, so we like had to fix it.
We wouldn't have.
And luckily, it's all who you know.
We got a guy.
Friend in the complex could print these for us. So we're like, yeah, we'll print these. We'll make them on Canva. Maybe we'll make them better some years down the line or whatever. And all of a sudden, that's like the logo. Like everybody takes photos of that. It's become the colors for the most part.
I love that we have so many different like visual logos for Monsoon though, because I mean, when we were getting those initial branding package quotes, I remember, right? Because we were like going into this business thinking a bit more traditionally of like, first you do this and then you do that and then you start your Instagram and then you know, it's like, okay, no, actually we did nothing really by the book, even though we entertained the thought, you know, and we got quotes anywhere from like $2,000 to like $7 fucking grand. And we're like, we're not selling products. We don't have an online store. Like, we're not putting tags on things. Like,
there's no
we're not
ROI
shipping
on
stuff.
this.
Like, why are we going to spend all of that money just to open a brick and mortar business that we don't even really know yet? Like, that's crazy to me to do out of the gate if you have limited resources that are better used somewhere else, you know? And so we paid Jordan Barton a very like reasonable amount to design that logo. And Jordan was local at the time.
Yes.
Now she's in Portland.
Yeah.
We love you, Jordan. But she really took our like loose idea at the time and like our very little, we didn't have a Pinterest board. Like we had very little to show her. We're like, so these are the vibes.
Yeah. Like literally it was like napkin drawings basically,
true.
right? Like, okay, like let's draw it out real quick. We did the O's and thought about it. And we're like, okay, kind of like this, you know?
Yeah. Like it was movement. We just knew that was true. There was movement in Monsoon Market.
Because that plays into the whole like what Monsoon is about, bringing in fresh, you know, freshness, something cool, a change up, and
things,
so
synergy.
Yeah, leaving that to always be happening to Monsoon.
Yeah,
you know, people's reiterations of how they see it, how they want to put their touch on it. So it started with that, and then we ended up with Sage doing the disco balls in the shopping cart, just because that naturally came to be. Like we got this cute little shopping cart.
Yeah,
we had disco balls. They go together, PB&J.
Cute.
All of a sudden, that's just like an icon.
And I remember us being like, we had shopping carts and disco balls all over the store. And I was like, dude, we really need an icon. Like all we have is this Monsoon Market.
Which is like the words.
Words. And like, what is our like logo, icon, imagery? And we were like, I don't know. We were like looking around the store. It was so obvious.
Like staring off
it was
into
right
the
in
disco
front of
cart.
us.
Yeah. We're like,
It took a few months for that to like finally hit us. I remember we were like, what about that? Like, duh, like that wraps up or sums up like what we do. Like we're a party store. We're like a feel-good stop. We're a destination for discovery.
We're shopping for celebration.
We're a celebration store. Yeah, that was so cool to just kind of like run into every time, like following your instincts and like following what feels right.
Yep.
Being inspired or like being open to inspiration around you, not in the form of what other people are doing.
No, that's why you can't follow other people.
Like, you don't need to be, that's why I don't like going on Pinterest and shit too much. Like,
talking about that is like, we would look for things on Pinterest that didn't exist. You can get kind of ideas about the realm you want to be in, but like, I can't find it because it doesn't exist. I have to create it.
Because it's our vibe. It's like so unique and specific to us. I am not going to find it on the internet elsewhere. No. Nothing is like a completely unique idea or whatever. We know that.
Right.
But it's how you do it that I think really sets a space apart. And so Monsoon Market really, like, we got to know her, you know, and we still do every day. I think that's really cool. We run our business very much like it's a person, like it's a friend, not just a person, but like, you know,
something
someone
you
that's
want to take
close
care
to
of.
us.
Yeah, and nurture and let grow in the way that it needs to, because
Yeah.
Monsoon didn't end up being a lot like we thought it would at all. You know, like we're a natural wine shop. We thought wine was going to be a small portion of the shop. Like all
That's
of
crazy.
these things, right? We thought we'd have like a produce table.
We
You know?
thought we'd be selling lemons.
Yeah, we thought we'd be selling baskets of lemons and like the things that have evolved now. We're like, oh, you know, that's kind of silly, but it's only because we listened and let it happen.
Yeah.
You have to do that.
It's crazy.
Feel good with Sunday Goods. Visit any of their locations valley-wide and use the code MONSOON for a discount at checkout. Thanks for listening to the Two Valley Girls LLC podcast. Now back to the show.
Dude.
So,
Yeah. No, I just don't take her seriously.
damn it. No one takes me seriously.
All right.
Well, we have a guest on, so button up, okay? Behave. Let's go.
I wore a sweater vest today because we had a guest.
I wore a serious businesswoman shirt.
Next time I'm wearing my big pot leaf shirt.
I'm wearing sweatpants next time, so.
All right, done.
Who's our guest?
Carmen. We're going to have
Carmen.
Carmen on today's episode. Episode 1, guest number 1. Sick guest.
What does Carmen do?
Carmen is a mastermind, badass Phoenix chick, and incredible interior designer.
Sweet.
And I can't wait to talk to her today.
Me too.
Rad.
Sweet.
Hi.
Hi. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, Monsoon World.
1, 2, 3.
Monsoon World.
Sweet. We have to start
Nope.
every episode now like that.
We just started something.
I love it. Cool. Carmen's here with us.
Hey, Carmen.
Hey, Carmen.
Hey.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be in the space with you guys.
Yeah.
I feel like you're in our space like all the time, but this is our first
Absolutely.
time getting to like kick it.
Yeah.
We're getting to hang and chat, which is so nice to do.
Yeah. It's not often that I get to carve out time to just like hang out with friends, but in like a more formal setting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. We were saying that it's been like 2.5 years since we've moved into this space, and like looking at all of the different stages of how it's changed. I
Yeah.
feel like we've seen it change a lot, but even
Mhm.
like our customers and our friends who've even been with the market for like 6 months have seen it transform entirely, like physically.
Completely. Yep.
And it's like so fun to be able to talk through like that process with someone like yourself, who obviously like this is design is the world that you live in, and we don't know what we're doing, you know?
We were making it up as we go.
But it was such a good start. I mean, Sophie and I were talking about the fact that when she first came in here, you guys were like, don't judge us. Like, we got all this stuff and like, we're figuring out it's going to get better.
Mhm.
And you're like from the beginning, but like what you already had started, what you created, like you really filled a need here and it was already so cute. And so, yeah, it's great. And you just keep adding pieces and it keeps getting cooler and cooler and working with local artists. And it's nice to see it change every time I come in.
Yeah.
That's what's fun, I think, for the customers too, is it is changing and growing, and
Absolutely.
it's organically growing. We're not like forcing it to be something. We're just letting it evolve.
This whole thing was kind of unexpected with like the actual space, because when we
Yeah.
were looking for locations back in like the summer of
21.
2021, we thought we were going to have like a really small store. Like we were
Like
planning for a
tiny.
tiny
Ooh.
footprint. We thought we were going to be like downtown or
Mhm.
maybe even more midtown
Yeah.
for a moment. We quickly realized like we couldn't afford to be downtown, and there wasn't a lot of availability. Like we didn't have any time. We were like running to get to a building as fast as
Yeah.
we could.
Yeah.
And this space found us, I feel like, in a way.
For sure. It popped up out of nowhere.
How did you guys find the space? Like, who connected you?
We luckily had a commercial broker that we were working with,
Oh,
and
nice.
he was like, hey, you know, like, I'm gonna show you this space. It's kind of run down. Like, try to imagine what it could be.
Those are the best spaces, though.
Yeah.
We were not excited by like walking into a strip mall,
No.
but
That's
like
fair.
That's like a yellow building. It's a little bit sleepy, and this space, I mean, the floors kind of already tell a story. The walls told a lot of story.
Too many stories.
It was actually a screen printing studio in here.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
So there was like paint splattered everywhere and like really off-putting blue and yellow walls and
Think of
holes
the
everywhere.
worst colors to put together, and they were like, let's do that. Like, let's do that everywhere.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
crazy.
paint is tricky, man. But you would think because they're artists, it would also probably have been a little bit cool, but
I don't
not
know.
now.
It didn't translate.
Okay,
It was
that's fair.
like years ago too, right? So it was a little bit outdated, but we walked into the space and we were like, what? This is not at all what we envisioned.
Totally.
There was like this weird little back room. There was like this foyer area.
Oh,
And because this used to be like an office suite, like
Okay.
from this building is old. I don't know. It's
Right.
retro, actually, we like to say. It's pretty retro.
It wasn't licensed for shopping like this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It was like
wasn't
a business
mercantile. It was
Did you guys have to
business, so-
change the zoning?
Yes,
Yeah.
which we learned a lot about.
Fun.
Yeah, that
Oh.
was so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we really had to imagine and like went through several different variations of how could this work? Like, what does this silly little room do?
Gonna
Do we
be,
close
yeah.
that? Do we make it an office?
Do we spend the money to like completely refab the space? Like
Yeah.
that was a big thought of ours, but we didn't
We didn't
think
have
too
the
much about
money.
it. We didn't have the money for
Right.
it.
I mean, so Monsoon is completely independent. Like Coral and I raise our own funds, and that was part of
Amazing.
like, of course, we would love to hire a designer to help us with this, but like we just don't have those funds available. Like we're using all the TI money that we can
Yeah.
to fill the holes, fix what needs to be done, and then we're like, we're gonna have to get really scrappy about this.
And we did, it's
and then we did.
And then we
And then we
did.
did.
Well, it's depending, you have to like take your resources and just put them where the most value is for your business,
Absolutely.
right? And so like in a retail shop like ours, we didn't have to like have X amount of furniture and like seating available like a restaurant
Yes.
or something where that like, that money spent is going to be like a direct return on our investment, like pretty much
Exactly.
right away, or it'll like maximize our business. We were able to start humble with like the fixtures and like the colors even in here.
Yeah.
We knew the product was going to be like beautiful and colorful
Part
Yes.
of it,
and like
right.
the eye candy. And so we were like, let's just do white paint. And right, we're in this space that's like wrecked with screen printing paint. It's like bright ass white,
Yeah.
bright as like
Blue.
cobalt blue.
So
Yeah.
it takes a few
Mustard
layers.
yellow.
Oof.
We went to Lowe's to go buy paint, and we like went to go just buy like those big gallons.
Sticker shock of how much paint
It's
costs.
expensive.
We were like
Yeah.
$400.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're like, no fucking way,
for
dude.
white paint.
Misch, let's get back in the car.
So
we won't accept this deal.
we wouldn't know.
The
So we're
walls
like-
would have stayed blue and yellow, honestly. We were like, nope.
I don't even know how we knew about it, but we ended up at this Habitat for Humanity store.
Yes. Wait,
that
out
has
in Mesa?
Paint.
No,
in
Phoenix.
Oh, there's one in Phoenix.
like
You
kinda
gotta go.
near, like
Okay.
the warehouse district.
Amazing.
And they had 5 gallons of paint, and I was like, "Shit, this is like $40 instead of $400."
I'm not
I
kidding.
was like,
No,
Probably
every penny
expired or
counts.
something. Like,
Well, especially because you guys are like what you need to spend your money on in this instance is your product. Like that's
Yes.
what's gonna sell. That's where you're
Mhm.
putting, I'm sure, a big chunk of your change down at first. And yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense that you guys leaned into all white, very pared down because your products have the life, have the color, and that's why you're selected. That's like part of why you're selecting them. One, they're delicious, but like two, they're
yeah.
also cute as fuck. So
Totally.
yeah.
It's like its own design of the space, right? Like people see that first, but we got the paint from Habitat for Humanity. Like we started thrifting all of this furniture because at that point, when we went to Habitat for Humanity for paint, I think we were like too proud to like buy anything. I know like I definitely was. I was like created this like competition with myself where I was like, we're not buying anything full price. Like
You're like, now it's
oh,
on.
the game was
It's
on. Yeah,
on,
she
dude.
went into hyperdrive.
yeah. I was like, we're thrifting everything, and
I think also that mindset shift happened. I just sort of realized because we were next to Wang's Vintage. Like we
True.
moved in
Yeah.
not knowing, like who was going to be our neighbor, and it ended up being this amazing thrift store, like
Yep.
best, vintage in the valley.
yeah.
And so then we were like, oh, sick. It kind of like changed our mind about some things. We're
It
like,
inspired us.
vintage. Yeah.
We're
like,
going
we can do
vintage.
that.
Just onto like an appreciation for things that had been like lived in and like
Yeah.
pre-loved before in a way that I didn't even value in my own home. Like everything in, my own home at the time had been like purchased. And then it was like just so exciting and interesting. It's like when you get into something new
Yeah.
and then, you get the itch for it, so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it gives it more character and more personality. And we were
For
like,
sure.
we're leaning into just like extra, like everything, you know?
There's also like a high that you get from it too. Like one, saving money, but like two, just like for a little while I did one pop-up. I was gonna say I was doing pop-ups. I did one pop-up at Noons, and I did vintage furniture. And so I was just like driving around town, and this was like, I don't know, 2019. And so I was just driving around town, had my headphones in. I would hit every Goodwill, every thrift store along the way to put together this little pop-up. And like when you find something cool, also you have to call someone though, because sometimes there's pieces that I'm like, this is on the verge of being cool, but it is also on the verge of being weird. And I don't know, did you guys like have conversations?
For the second opinion?
Yeah, like this. You need to like call a lifeline.
I thought you meant for like help. I was like, we would call for help. Like we're like, we found something and it's a fridge. Like,
oh yeah, we're gonna
can you come help me? Like,
we need a truck with a hitch. Like No, I would like be on Facebook Marketplace, which I'm sure do you spend time on Facebook Marketplace, or is it like too?
So I haven't done it in a while. Like there's a lot of time spent in other places, but I do OfferUp, but it feels like OfferUp is dead. I'm gonna say it. I don't know if it's true, but
I deleted the app, girl. That's how dead I feel.
It's dead. Okay, like good to know. Officially dead.
I'm on a break though, an FB break as well, because it gets so consuming, dude. I'll wake up 6 a.m. Friday mornings and I'm like, well, what's on Facebook? What's in Coronado? You know,
what's hot right now?
Yeah, what's hot right now? And I would send Michelle the most like unhinged stuff. I'm like, dude, do we need this? Yes or no?
I was the second opinion.
Yeah,
Cora was driving the train on that one, and then I was like, yes or no, yes or no.
We'd be like driving around in like Sun City or something, or like out in like Casa Grande, and I'd be on Facebook Marketplace, like looking what's in the area, like what do we got? What do we got?
Full like 2 weeks where literally I think I just drove a pickup truck and Cora was on her phone, and we went everywhere. And picked up like all of the furniture, just cash, just doing deals.
Yeah, did you have fanny packs too?
She has them like in her pocket.
Yeah, 2 pockets, right?
Yeah.
And a good example of this, I was like on a competition to always haggle too. I was like, I'm gonna save even $5.
Getting the best
win, you know? That $5 is gonna go far, you know, with $40 pay, you know? And so I found this little like, you know, the shopping cart became like a signifier naturally of Monsoon, because we were gifted actually like this little mini shopping cart by Forever Elizabeth, actually. By Elizabeth. And then we started putting disco balls in our shopping cart, and then we wanted to get I wanted a bigger one. I found this one on Facebook Marketplace that was like an actual child's toy. It was a Melissa and Doug brand.
Okay.
Don't know who they are, but apparently very popular amongst like 6-year-olds or something. And there was a little shopping cart, and I met these people in like the park out in like PV to go do this deal, right?
Yeah, 100%.
And like the mom shows up with like her little girl, and it's $30. I have like $20 or $25, right? Like $30. I'm like ready, you know, we take 25 for it. And then she's like, all right, honey, like here, go do the deal. Like tell her like $30. And I didn't have it in me to like haggle.
Like here's the $30.
I was like, go to college.
Will you take 25?
It would have been a good life lesson, but
I know. I'm like, should I be teaching this right now?
You're like, I don't think I'm prepared.
Yeah, so that was probably the biggest L we took when I was doing my deals.
That $5.
I didn't try to haggle her at all. I just gave her full price. I almost paid her more.
I wonder where she is right now. Just a businesswoman.
She's a businesswoman, yeah.
With her stare down.
Right.
That's
but like,
awesome.
All these things. I mean, like this table, which everyone always tries to like buy from us or ask where we bought it. And it was just a random find out in like, I don't know, super far west side, $20 or something. Fridges.
Casa Grande, yeah.
One of the old Sprouts fridge, actually.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, the white one, the cute one.
That's so nice. Yeah, you're our cute one.
Then this old ass one with like the wood, has like wood vinyl on the sides.
Enjoying the Two Valley Girls LLC podcast? Visit us at Monsoon Market in Central Phoenix off of 7th Street in Osborne. Open every day from 11 to 7 p.m. with natural wine, snacks, and so much more. We'll see you there.
I have a good segue. So I wanted to ask you guys, so you're thrifting, you're running around town. Like, did you guys have a plan in mind? Like, did you guys put Pinterest boards together? Like, how were you working towards a vision essentially when you guys were going out? Or was it really just like each piece you found, you kind of figured like, okay, I kind of like the aesthetic of this. Like how did you drive your design for what pieces you selected?
Good question. A little bit of both, I'd say.
Yeah.
Like there was a Pinterest board. There was some inspo. We're like loosely though.
Yeah, we're both, I feel like, not super great at putting together like Pinterest inspo boards, because it's like, I feel like that's such an amazing skill to have. Like you have to know like design terms and names and like what you're looking for a lot of the times in order to find it. And so we didn't feel really confident at what like the theme was like for Monsoon, or like what even design aesthetic we were channeling. We just knew it was like really indie and really eclectic and really colorful and bare bones, I would say. So we did have a lot of like minimalist store designs type stuff on our Pinterest board.
Yeah.
And we had one vision board that I made. This almost exact coffee table was on it.
Oh,
this exact couch was on it. That chair was
Amazing.
on it.
Of course.
Like a light similar to the pendant was on it. And so it's crazy how that one vision board that we made really did like come to fruition in a lot of different ways visually.
That's so exciting. Do you guys still have the vision board?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we do.
It's like
share it.
it's somewhere on our Instagram.
We'll put it up.
But
Yeah.
we'll reshare it soon.
Repost.
Yeah.
Do you do that for your design process? Do you use Pinterest and like sort of map out the whole scope of the project before you really dive in?
Yeah, so it's like part of what we do with Need to Know is what we call like a DNA presentation. And so we're kind of like joking, but it's because we started with this idea of like doing a post-mortem conversation and podcast actually like at the end of each project, because there's so often you hear about all the good things that happen, and like you see like the shiny, bright, like yes, like end goal. This is where we finish, but like you don't really know the trials and tribulations that go like happen along the way. And I feel like that's the shit that everyone really needs to know and like should want to know. And it's actually really funny. Anecdotes along the way too. So yeah, we really start off with this DNA presentation, and it's like, are we on the same page? So you've told us like what you're looking for, what your dreams are, what you're selling, what you're making, like whatever it is, and kind of like what the general requirements are. Like we're doing a claw arcade machine, a machine arcade in Mesa. And so we were like, okay, we have to go to every claw arcade like nearby. So here we go. We're going to drink some boba and we're going to figure it out. And so it was really interesting to like do that initial research. And so all of that kind of goes into then looking at the floor plan, seeing what elements or what moments like we can make feel special, because we're like, it's cool that you said that you're minimal and like where you started because of your product. Again, like it makes sense. And for us, like we also view ourselves as minimalists, even though like we are like maximalist minimalists, if that makes sense. Like we're really trying to do really high impact design with the least amount of materials so that it is like really cohesive and really clean. And then let's like, yeah, whatever it is, that's your product or whatever you're doing, shine. So we start out with that DNA presentation, lots of Pinterest, but we try and get freaky with it. Like each one's a little different. It's tailored to each client. And it's really fun. Like I'm not a graphic designer, but if I could have a second life, I would love to go back as a graphic designer, because I really love to nerd out on like, ooh, how could I show this concept even better through imagery, but without just putting an image on a page. So yeah, that's a little bit about like the first presentation that we do. And then it's like, you in? And we're like, they're hopefully like, yes. Yes. And then we're like, we're obviously in. And so then we sign a contract and then away we go. We start designing from there.
Amazing.
Yeah.
We have some amazing spaces in Phoenix that you've played a role in designing. I mean, I want to acknowledge like 3 of some of our favorite spaces in Phoenix you were a mastermind behind, which is Central Records, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm like,
yeah.
right? Fact check myself.
I'm getting so much wrong now.
Central Records, amazing space. I mean, Quartz, the cave in the back of Quartz. Insane. Like the fact that we get to throw drag shows there.
It inspired us to do that. Like as soon as we walked into the cave, when we saw
so
it,
cool.
Coral said, this would be an amazing place for a drag show. And that's literally what we've done.
So this is a runway.
Yeah.
This is a runway.
So
and
fun.
we need to do a drag show here.
It's amazing. When Sophia and I saw that, we were both sending it to each other and we're freaking out and we're like, holy shit, this like photography is everything. This is exactly what you hope someone does with the space that you design, is just like imbue it with even cooler shit and like amazing people and like bring life to it, because that's half of the fun.
Next drag show, we need both of you guys there.
Yes,
actually.
I'm down.
You guys have to come.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's amazing in there.
And
even the photo shoots, like.
Yeah. It's such a beautiful space. I love taking photos in there. The queens like slay it every time in there. And also Love Sack, one of the newest spaces that you guys designed. And so
Love Bite now.
Love
right.
Love Bite.
Yeah.
Don't sue us,
that
Love Sack. Yeah, they're coming for them. But that space is so cool because it's so fucking tiny.
So small.
And it is one of the raddest places visually to like walk into. You know?
Thank
Seriously,
you.
your guys' choice of materials and lighting and textures and shapes, like everything in there, the reflections, it plays off of what Love Bite is doing as a brand and with their menu so well. And like how cohesive and inspiring it is to go in there is so cool. Like it makes sense, but it makes no sense at all.
Yeah,
you know, like
thanks.
It's unexpected.
I love that. No, that's exactly what we're trying to do. It's just like, it was a really small footprint, and how do you make the highest impact without also making people feel like they're like claustrophobic? So materiality was important, and luckily, like getting to work with cool, like young entrepreneurs. Like honestly, like that's half of the fun, and a lot of the clients that are supporting us now are all younger entrepreneurs, and like that's all of the businesses that you've been to for the most part that we've designed. And yeah, she had a really cool vision, and then it was like, okay, how do we make that real? And then how do we make it real on a budget? So like wood wraps around in the space, that was something that she really wanted, but we're like, okay, how can we do it more affordably and also like food safe? And so we found a really cool vinyl that looks so good and like match the flooring, the LVT, so it's super durable, and just like trying to find all those elements, because like in spaces like this, it's also like about longevity and like that, you know, like Love Bite's getting beat to crap every first Friday, all of the things. And so just trying to find like a way to make the space like last long, but also just look so cool. And then that chromate steel, which was so much freaking fun.
So cool.
That's
and
beautiful.
Very stressful to put together. Because no one in town had heard of it. And like I had to specifically find the actual dye to do the chemical process, and then found the person to negotiate, like the people to acid wash the steel, to do the application of the material. And it was wild. So it's really fun though. And I was like, okay, listen, we're going in on this together because it's a risky piece. I've seen it done, but like it's so essential to like the Roosevelt row, like adding that little funk and edge. And she was like, I want this place to be approachable. And so I was like, I think you need to add like this little quirky, funky element in there. And so that's where that chromate still came from.
When you have a vision, right? Like you gotta go until you make it happen.
Yeah.
When you walk into a space, like what do you think is like the biggest, like if you're trying to set a vibe, like what do you think is something that you can't sacrifice?
Honestly, it's lighting. I think that's the one thing that I get the most offended by when I'm places, and like why I hate government buildings and why I hate going anywhere that like just has shitty overhead 2x4 fluorescent lighting. Like it's so bad. And so one thing that I love and I just wish we could do more of is candles everywhere, because I'm such a candle girl, and just any lighting that you can do that isn't on the ceiling, best case scenario. So doing some pendants, sconces, like to add that warmth and ambiance, and also like a lower color temp, because like the medical grade color temps are like 4,000, 5,000 kelvins, and like where we like to sit at home is around 2,700, and like, and then you can even go dimmer than that, and it's just like the warmest, softest, like coziest lighting. And so that I think is the thing that sets the mood for everything in the space.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Like no big light, ever.
No.
Anywhere.
We need big light today.
Please.
Yeah.
I would rather be like this than like
I'd rather not see actually.
Exactly.
Tell us about Need to Know. Obviously, you've been designing independently, but you and Sophia recently started Need to Know.
Yes.
Tell us what's going on with that.
Yeah. Okay. So Sophia and I have both been designers for a long time, and this woman is amazing because she actually like got me all of the jobs that I've had so far in my design career in Phoenix.
Okay.
So I worked with an architect first. Then we worked together at our last firm, and we did mostly workplace design, but Sophia is connected in town. She's been here for so long and had some good friends. She's really connected with Chucky, who got her courts, and Belly. And so she started doing hospitality, and the projects were amazing. And that was one of the reasons that I wanted to start working for Edgequarters, is because I was like, damn, this woman, this firm is talented. Lo and behold, it was really Sophia that was creating these projects that I loved so much. And then we just like slowly started to talk about like, well, what could we work together on? We were always dreaming and scheming together. And so the first thing that actually like made Need to Know was a rug collection, which has yet to be designed because we just started taking on design projects this entire time. But like Need to Know is a full service interior design and product design firm. And so Sophia is going to be kind of spearheading the product design portion. And yeah, we're just open right now. We're taking clients, we're meeting developers, we're meeting anyone that's reaching out to us. We got our first organic reach out the other day, which was so nice. And like, we're like, oh my God, they saw our work and they just liked it. So it's nice. It's like, we're old in the design world, but like, we feel like virgins again, like getting people reaching out to us for a project. Like, it's so exciting. So yeah, that's what we're doing. And we're just wanting to do really conceptual design work, like from top to bottom, and working with amazing people that have cool stories that need them translated into cool spaces. So yeah.
I love that. I love it.
Yeah.
I want to see your guys' mark on as many spaces in Phoenix as possible from like what we've seen so far. I can't wait to see what you guys continue to do. And I think that it's a big impact to be able to contribute to like our city and Phoenix and how it looks in some ways, but ultimately like how it really feels, how it feels for all of us is really important. And like as much as we can do to contribute to that and, you know, create spaces that we want to see and that we feel comfortable in is so cool. And that we want to share. Phoenix is cool, guys.
It's so
Phoenix.
cool. Come on, guys.
Phoenix is cool. We've been
We're on
saying
that
doing
campaign.
we're Phoenix.
Yeah, no, I think everyone here that's like hung out here, that's from here, like really just tried, like we've seen it changing over and over again for so many years. And like finally in the last 5 to 10 years, it's like everyone that has been our age, that's been dreaming, that decided to stay in Phoenix and like try and build a thing, like they're starting to actually like get the funds, make their things, and they're successful. And it's so cool. Like it feels really exciting.
It's our time.
It's our time.
Right on. Well, thank you
Awesome.
so much, Carmen,
Thanks,
for
Carmen.
being here.
Yeah.
It was so fun to sit down and chat with you. And I'm sure we'll see you in the market again soon.
Yeah.
Anytime.
I love it.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye. That was so great having Carmen on.
She's amazing.
We always get to like sit and chat in the market, but it's nice to have like an uninterrupted time to be able to like really talk to someone like Carmen and share the story of the market.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Love our couch canvas.
Love the couch.
Cool.
Where the magic happens.
Yeah. Until next time.
Until next time.
Yeah, we can follow Carmen at what's her handle for her business? It's
Need to Know.
Need to Know.
Follow Need to Know on Instagram. Definitely check them out if you guys are interested in any design services. If you need to pick their brain, they're here in Phoenix.
Yep. And then us, follow us. We got Monsoon World.
Welcome to Monsoon World.
Monsoon World.
Yes.
Always Monsoon Market. You should be following. You should be at the market. You should be here buying wine.
You should be
We'll
right
see you
here.
soon. Yeah, we'll see you next time here.
Monsoon Market, Monsoon World, Two Valley Girls LLC podcast. We got a lot of things going on.
Taking over.
We're taking over.
Thanks for tuning in to the Two Valley Girls LLC podcast, presented by Monsoon World. Please subscribe to our Monsoon World YouTube page and follow Two Valley Girls LLC on Instagram, TikTok, and Spotify. Thank you to our sponsors and collaborators. Until next time, Phoenix and beyond.
So did you want 2 coffees or